so many countries tuned in. I tell you, I'm looking at the list, and I'm amazed to see some of the countries that are on here, and even the late hours the people are up in there. I know for some of you, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning right now. I see you on here. So do me a favor, raise your hand real quick if you can see me, or hear me, I should say. All right, excellent. Well, listen, we're going to be kicking right off tonight. It's going to be my pleasure to be your host this evening for the INFINii overview. And I want to give you a little background on myself. If you haven't been part of INFINii before, you're just checking, the opportunity out. It's always important to know who's presenting. My name is Ken Eggleston. I'm the Vice President of Global Sales and Business Development for the company. I have an extensive background in law enforcement, spent most of my adult life there, love the industry and as a whole. And when I was attending law school is when I first got introduced to network marketing. And, I didn't dive in to go after wealth and fame. Instead, my whole goal was to make an extra $500 or $1,000 a month because of a special needs child. My oldest son had an allergic reaction to a DTP inoculation, which is a childhood vaccine, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis shot, and he'd had an allergic reaction to it, put himself into a massive grand mal seizure as part of that reaction, and suffered a traumatic brain injury. So that ended up causing me to look for other avenues to produce extra income. And, that's kind of my family story to what brought us here, but our why was big enough that we pursued the industry very aggressively and have had the good blessings of being incredibly successful now over the 20 years we've been in here. It's not just because of something I did, it was because of the good people and the associations that I was honored to go ahead and meet along the way. And that really brings me to why we're all here and gathered to watch this tonight. And there's a few times in your life when you have the opportunity to really see a revolution taking place, and part of that is happening right now. All of us can see all the dramatic changes that happen around us. We obviously live in an unprecedented time. Everybody's quite honestly somewhat too wired into technology, but it's never going away. And industry and economies are shifting because of it. And technology is clearly replacing everything about the old economy that we used to be a part of. And we see a lot of people. I mean, I'm not talking a small amount. We see somewhere upwards of 40 to 50% of the population today struggling to actually earn a living in the new economy, many of them seeing their jobs replaced by technology. And, as we look around the world, because this isn't isolated to any one country, as we look around the world, millions are struggling with these same issues. CNN Money, if you happen to tune in to any of the money shows, you'll recognize that. I watch a number of others. They're all saying the same thing, but CNN talked about the global economy being a truly titanic problem. And when you hear the reference to Titanic, which was, of course, was the ill-fated cruise liner that sunk and lost thousands of lives in the early 1900s, that's a heck of a terminology to attach to it, but we're all watching what's going on with the global stock market right now. In the US, there was over 1 million bankruptcies filings in 2013, and of course, it's been about the same for the last 3 to 4 years, and a lot of people are saying that the next bubble is getting ready to pop. And when you look over at Euro unemployment, some of the demographics exceed 45%. And when you think about a global bubble popping again, or some of the different issues that are at play, we all know that, look, if China catches a cold, or I should say sneezes, the U.S. gets sick. I mean, we're all tied together in this global economy. And when you really get into the fiscal issues and how everything operates, you start to understand that the masses don't have a lot of control over their future. And that's one of the issues we're going to talk to tonight, because with 600 million jobs being required over the next decade alone, 200 plus million out of work right now, and the U.S. middle class is shrinking at an unprecedented rate, which was the strongest middle class globally for a long time. But now, unfortunately, we see that even in developing countries, that middle class hasn't had the chance to prosper for as long as what many people saw in the United States, and instead they're already shrinking in size. And this situation is going to keep going. But for those of us that are optimists, because there's either optimists or pessimists, either the glass half full or the glass is half empty, but there is always, for every downturn, there is an upturn for the people that are willing to pay attention. Most of your millionaires were created in the 1900s, directly around and after the Great Depression, for the ones that were watching. And for every dying economic empire, a new one was born. We saw that when, for those of you that are old enough to remember, when there used to be vinyl records, and all of a sudden then it was 8-tracks, then it went to CDs, then it went to discs, and we've seen that whole evolution of VCRs, and now nobody would even think about anything but a Blu-ray. Each time it evolves, something dies, but something new comes along. So one of my favorite sayings is from The Origin of Species, and it's not the fittest that survive, but those who are the most adaptable to change. And I'm a big believer in adapting, and I'm also a big believer in finding individuals out there that are adapters themselves. And that's really what we're going to talk about tonight. And that's what INFINii is looking for. It's looking for those individuals who aren't going to live a life just to survive. They want to live a life to thrive, and they want to live a life that has the opportunity to build for their family and for their futures that's going to be enjoyable. Look, we only have X amount of time on the planet. You choose how you want to spend your time, but I don't intend on doing it in just a laid-back fashion. I want to make sure I enjoy every minute of it, and I bet you're the same. So let's jump into the overall concept we're talking about here behind technology. Many of you know Uber. I'm sure the majority of you have taken rides in the cars, where once we used to only jump into cabs. Who would have ever thought that somebody would create a cab company, for all intents and purposes, and never own a single vehicle? So the founder of this created in 2009. I bet all of his friends sat there and laughed at him when he talked about doing this. And yet the company now today is valued at over $50 billion by the Wall Street Journal, and it doesn't own a single car. Matter of fact, it really doesn't even have hardly a single employee. All the drivers are 1099. They're independent reps. So this is all done through a smartphone. You just have to think outside the box if you're going to do something exceptional. Think over to Airbnb. If you're not familiar with them, they are now just about the largest accommodation provider, and they don't own a single piece of real estate. Market valuation $25.5 billion by CNN Money again. And again, think of Hilton. Hilton's been around. Hilton Hotels have been around since the 1950s. One of my favorite hotels to stay at, yet their total valuation is around $19 billion. It's not the old brick and mortar style. It's technology that's going to drive everything. And that is exactly where we come into the third segment of the slide, which is the INFINii segment, which is going to help you capitalize on the next mega trend if your mind is open to the opportunity of actually doing stuff through e-commerce. Because if you're sitting back right now and you're listening and you're stuck in yesterday, then this may pass you right by. And I hope that doesn't happen, because there's an awful lot of people that are seeing massive success with this right now. A lot of those people that were in yesterday never believed that malls would start closing, never believed that we'd start to see wholesale companies across the board that are icons within the industry recognize sales of 30, 39%, 33% going down with big red arrows. And like I said, we all know these names, but at the same time, we're seeing one sector explode. And of course, it's the online e-commerce sector. Look at Amazon right now, 117% increase. Now, that's not just from a startup. That's just this last year that they're able to see that type of growth, and it's just going to continue on down the road. I mean, online sales are exploding and growing at 15 to 20% every year. A company's dream would be to have 5 to 7% solid growth every year. If you're seeing 15 to 20%, that's things that most forensic accountants, those individuals that would go into a company and explore the books, would think they're doing something illegal to have those type of profits. But that's how powerful e-commerce is. So when you look at these companies, imagine if you were able to have a system such as the one that INFINii now has put in place, that those companies right here, Amazon, eBay, and Google, are helping find the customers, process the payments, delivering the products, and handling the customer support. it'd be a dream come true. And most oftentimes, I think the majority of people would say there's no way. Why would they do that? Well, it's because that's how they do business. When you look at how we're doing as a company, I think the slide says it all. This shows over $2 billion, and this photo was taken, just about 6 months ago now. We're already at about 2.4 billion. And the membership there, when at the time this slide was taken, between September of 2013, utilizing our pilot program company, which is a subsidiary of INFINii, as we tested this model out, our members generated over 380 million in profits for themselves through the e-commerce platform. And that $2 billion that have been sold at that point and 2.4 billion now are the members' sales to date on those e-commerce platforms like eBay, Amazon. And when you begin to see what our members have been able to accomplish, you see individuals like Dion. This is a young man of about 26 years of age, astronomical income. And folks, we don't make income claims. Remember, this is a combination of income from the rewards plan and also the e-commerce income, but it's income that we verify. And when you look at that type of strength, that's unprecedented. We have kids right now graduating college, don't know what they're going to do, but yet we have other individuals that have never seen this type of income. And here's Jesse, lives up in Canada, obviously knocking it out of the ballpark. Great smile on him. And by the way, if you're wondering, those two gentlemen on the left and right with those big smiles, those are two of our founders. The gentleman on the right is our CEO, Hitesh Junja, and the gentleman on the left is none other than Kevin Hokowana. If you're part of INFINii afterwards, you're going to get to know that gentleman very well with some of our incredible marketing programs. Now, Rodney Burton, this guy, I can't tell you enough stories. You just need to sit down with dinner over him. But what I love is it doesn't matter race, creed, color, sex, none of that matters with INFINii. Everybody's on an even playing field. And no matter what you've done in the past, you can just absolutely rock it in the future. Lisa Gilbert and Stacy Flores, absolutely incredible. And I show these examples to you because these are real people. This isn't some hype that, we show you just a flashy movie. We want to go through and show you people who have already made this work within our program. And folks, we're just entering now and during the pre-launch phase here. So a huge shift is clearly taking place, as we talked about, from offline to online. And this is what's providing the opportunity to see those levels of income. Many major brands, as we've already talked about, are trying to move online. We see them all linking up their affiliate websites, but guess what? Nobody's going to go ahead and shop. If you send your target affiliate website somewhere, your friends and family aren't going to shop on the affiliate website. They're going to get their own affiliate website. The stores are not just doing that. But when you look at the INFINii model, it's so much radically different. And I'm going to get into that a little further into the program here, and it's going to blow your mind how simple this really is. So e-commerce as a whole, let's talk about it for a second. Sit back wherever you live, think about this on a global scale. It's now at $1 trillion global industry, and it's creating previously unavailable opportunities for profit that we've all seen. You've seen many pictures right now I just showed you, but imagine in the US alone, $349 billion. Canada, the neighbors to the north, 27 billion. Jump across the Atlantic, France, 43 billion. Right over next door, UK at 99 billion. Germany at 62 billion. Then we jump over to China, $672 billion in e-commerce there. Truly the giant within the zone. Korea's at 39 billion, Japan at $90 billion. And then you jump down to Latin America, Brazil at 20 billion, Australia 19 billion, and we could just keep going across, but I think you get it. This is a global, this is a global wave. It's not going to stop. It's only going to grow. Matter of fact, I was reading about Amazon now opening up a major facility in China. It's just going to continue to run across the board. But the most important part is it's expected to grow by another 3.5 trillion just over the next 5 years. And it's probably going to outpace that with the records we see coming in. So the question that we're asking you tonight is that, how much of the 3.5 trillion would you like to participate in? And while that may be a bold comment, we continue as a company to prove ourselves in the marketplace because we've already done it. Our members have already generated over $2.4 billion in sales on the e-commerce platforms. Our members have already generated over $380 million in profits. So it's not a question of if, it's an absolute fact that the INFINii model works. So our system allows you to generate profits with a simple platform. Number one, no inventory. This isn't like this is an e-commerce business, but let's compare it for a second because we have an offering in the home-based business arena. Let's compare it to your average network marketing company. When you go to start your average network marketing company, get invited to a party, you sit down, and at the end of the party, everything looks good. And you're like, okay, with coffee, skincare, cream, weight loss, whatever. At the end of the party, it's like, okay, well, now you should buy these packs. Here's a $1,000 pack. Here's a $1,500 pack. Here's a $2,000 pack. They want to load you up with coffee, skincare, cream, weight loss, or whatever. Go put it in your garage and run around and sell it to your family. Folks, if that's what you want to do, then I get it. I've been in the industry 20 years, been a part of many of that, but I got to tell you, people today, they want to simplify their lives and they want a real business that's going to last. And that's exactly what e-commerce is. So remember, no inventory with us, no upfront costs, no traffic generation, no shipping and management because the platforms we show you. And again, we talked about our sales, but more importantly, our stats show that INFINii members generate 6 times more sales on eBay and 7.2% more sales on Amazon than other sellers that are there. So our model and our training is superior and works. Now, in addition to that, what we did do is we decided to enter the network marketing industry. So we took the ultimate e-commerce model, which is already over 2 years proven, as you've seen the results, and we bolted on one of the most aggressive compensation plan structures with a 70% payout. That means the company only takes 30%, the field takes 70%, and we did it on a 1-to-1 point-to-dollar ratio. Those of you within the industry know what I'm talking about. If you're not in the industry, don't worry about it. It just means it's really a great plan. But the icing on the cake was bringing in the right legal representation. Because if you're looking at partnering with a company, you need to know that they have a good legal partner. You need to know that they're going to be guided by somebody that is a steward within the profession. And that person who you see on the screen is Kevin Thompson. As you see, he's voted amongst the top 25 most influential people in direct sales. I've become friends with this gentleman, and because I've been in the industry a long time, I've already seen him, run into him at a bunch of different events. And, outside of INFINii, before INFINii was even thought of, and, he has always just been a first-class individual. But there's something that I've never seen him do. Kevin Thompson has represented many companies, but I've never seen him endorse a particular network marketing company until he saw the INFINii model and saw that this company was 100% successful in a non-network marketing component. And then by adding on a true home-based business network marketing rewards plan to it, that it would in fact be the perfect model within the industry. And that's why INFINii is honored to have this man's endorsement. And that's why our members are so proud to know that the founders of this company have done the due diligence and have built this the right way. When you look at INFINii as a whole, and if it may be for you, consider several things. INFINIi's system is unlike any other in the world. That should be important to you. You don't need a whole bunch of competition in the marketplace if you want to do something exceptional. Now, they've got automated ways to profit with Amazon, Google, eBay, without spending hours per day on technical tasks. I don't know about you, I turned 50. Technical tasks on computers are not my high point. I do wish I had spent more time in the computer lab. And for those young people on the line here, yes, we used to call it a computer lab when I went to high school, rather than on the football field. But live and learn. So then you come without becoming a marketing expert. This is important for a lot of us that didn't grow up with computers. So we need to know that this is something that we got assistance with. And then without chasing friends and family, this is huge. I mean, this company allows you the ability to talk to anybody, because all you have to do is walk up to somebody and say, hey, do you shop on eBay or Amazon? Well, you're about 90% of the people in most countries are going to say yes, unless it's a very removed country. But then you're going to say, wow, okay, do you enjoy the experience? Well, of course I enjoy the experience. I love getting stuff shipped to home. When's the last time they paid you for, for referring them to other people? And they'll just look at you and go, what? And then that's exactly how simple it is to say, well, I get paid by Amazon and eBay. Let me show you how. And that is the simple platform that we have here. You have to have something that's easy. It can't be complicated in today's age, and we're not. So let's take a look at the simple system I'm talking about. When you look at the system in action, we can see right here on the left side of the screen in Amazon, it's a monkey. You know, I make a lot of jokes about the monkeys if you've ever seen my presentations before, but this monkey kind of is, truly the light bulb going off on the platform. This monkey sells for $8.96. And, put over on eBay, if you utilize our system and go over and price compare, on eBay, that monkey's selling for $17.98. So the monkey on the left is the same monkey on the right, but it costs a lot different. So I'm sure you see where I'm going. So that's a profit of $9.02. Now, the idea isn't that simple profit minus the fees from the company. The idea is multiplying that by many times if you get into this market. So now we talk about scaling it up and looking at other avenues. On the left side, you've got AliExpress. You may have heard Alibaba, a very large international company. They're showing here a flip leather mobile phone case. Their cost is $3.52. A very similar flip leather phone is selling for $28.99 as far as the case, $28.99 on Amazon. That's a difference of $25.47. Now, you've got the ability to set your own profit margin within that, but you can imagine that if you're a consumer and you're going on looking for something, if you saw one that was very similar to the other, priced maybe $14, $15, $16 less, even if it was $2 less, people will make that jump. And so your profit is substantial. Now, there's a piece on here which is a scan and sell. I think this item's awesome. Ladies, I can just imagine the shopping parties. We've already seen a lot of the ladies hold this. They invite their friends over for wine, cheese, and then they all go out on a shopping party and invade the mall, and they don't end up costing themselves any money because they're scanning items when they're walking around, and then they're finding out what it's selling for on Amazon, and they're able to go ahead and set it up to collect the difference in it. It's absolutely unbelievable. So you find a product for $24.85. When you check the phone, you go through the app, it sells on Amazon for $39.50. You got a profit there of $14.75. So there's the basics. So we know on Amazon, eBay, we had the monkey that had $9.02 profit minus fees. You got the international site, $25.47 on the flip leather phone. You've got the shop and scan where we're just talking about the lady parties or gentlemen. I'm not going to certainly leave us out. We might enjoy having the shopping party ourselves these days. Then we bring that down. Your total profit for the three items is $49.14, but it's not the $49.14. It's doing it and doing multiple listings. So if you did 50 listings, that's equivalent of $2,470. I was watching a news show the other day. They were getting into, the stock market, a lot of the other issues, and they said that when you look at the average U.S. worker, the average U.S. middle-class hourly worker, they were lucky if they had received, in equitable money, if they were making about $4 to $5 more today than they were in the 1970s, as far as what their money would actually buy. And, across the board, you see people getting out of college and they're sitting at master's degrees trying to find $35,000 a year jobs. It's really sad, but INFINii offers an answer to all that. So if you minus the Amazon fees out, that's $2,150 a month. Now, I got to tell you, the checks that we saw before, I don't think those individuals stopped there. I think they took this model and they said, well, why 50 times? I'm going to do it 10 times a day or 20 times a day, so you can see how it works if you get focused. Now, it doesn't come just overnight. You have to have some focus here, but that's why we have the entire training platform in place for you. Now, to me, what I love to see is, because of course I'm retired from law enforcement, I love to see a firefighter. Now, of course, firefighters, I must tell you that, they've got it easy at times until they have to go into a fire. Anytime I stop by a firehouse, they're always making good food. But, when I see an individual like Becky Thames and her, husband, that just, it kind of warms my heart, because I love to see civil service that are out there risking their lives and being able to do this. And, Becky is a full-time executive, in her own job. She built this part-time, and yet you look at that multiple six-figure income. This gentleman right here, Jim Chow, I've known him since he was in his early 20s, and he's not even out of his 20s yet. And look at that. And yes, ladies, he is single, so if you happen to know him, Jim's doing very well. But I love to see this type of thing happening. And, when you begin to understand that people like Nikki and Parrish Witherspoon, this couple right here has a special place in my heart, because they're just good people. They're good people that care about others. And to them, it's not all about the money. And I think that's why they've done so well, is because they teach other people how to do exactly what they do. And that gentleman on the right there, that's Parrish, but spent almost 10 years over in the Middle East. You can imagine that wasn't an easy job. And his wife, Nikki, was also over there as well. They came back here, didn't have any immediate contacts or warm market, a whole bunch of friends to introduce this to. They just got on there and started understanding how to do this. And look at the income they've built for themselves in under 2 years. So that, folks, I think is just beyond awesome. Love those guys. So let's talk about you right now. Let's talk about your dream business. Clearly INFINii is real. So it's not the question if INFINii is going to succeed. It's already doing it. It's already there, and it's going to go into being one of the largest companies within not only the arbitrage level of e-commerce, but also within the network marketing industry. But if you're looking for something different, then you can build this business from your home. You can set your own hours. We've got all the video and live training included possible. You're not going to commute anymore with the boss, no stress. And look at the entry point that we offer for this business. This isn't, hey, get your starter pack with your average company. There's 500, there's 1,000, there's 15, or there's $2,000, and then it's going to cost you $200 a month. No, this is your entire startup price. There is nothing except the monthly membership fee. So tonight you can get started and begin learning how to turn your life into a financial tidal wave of e-commerce profit just at the prime level. $49.95 a month is going to walk you through this door where you're going to learn how to do eBay, create the account, select items. You're going to learn how to do Amazon, using the Amazon app, first shopping trip, packing and shipping items. You're going to learn about, drop shipping. You're going to learn about all kinds of things. Google, a lot of people didn't even realize that Google had a whole listing system or anything like that. So we've got advanced listing creator, all these different platforms that are going to come into play. Now, for the person who's at that point where you want a little more than, just to start, slow and kind of learn your way, you're looking to make, a full-time income at this. You're looking to replace your job, or you're looking to make a full-time income, additional full-time income, so you can pay for college, you can pay for the parents, if they're looking at a nursing home or adding on to your house, and you're looking to set yourself financially free, or maybe you're just looking to be able to retire a little sooner, you're going to want to come in at the Surge. Surge is $149.95 a month. This platform alone, and the money that it costs to put this platform together is literally in the millions. But we know the masses need this. And so when you look at Surge for $149.95, which by the way is less than the average American spends drinking Starbucks every month. So everybody can afford this, and it's a business, folks. Think of how much college costs or anything else. So you learn how to start being the top on eBay searches. social signals to increase sales. We're talking you just turn on and open the treasure chest of how to target Facebook, Amazon pay-per-click, YouTube pay-per-click, advanced analytics. This surge level to me is the perfect spot. It's the sweet spot where you jump in because everything that's in Prime, the one that we showed at $49.95, is also included at Surge. So to me, it's the best of both worlds. And this is my favorite one. Now, for those of you that are absolutely spot on, you know the computer, you've been in the landscape before, you're familiar with Amazon or eBay and selling on online platforms, Excel is the bomb. It's designed for the person that just wants to absolutely blow the doors off this thing. I myself, if you're first time looking at this, you might be that type of aggressive personality that goes, well, you know what? I may not know all this, but I always go for the top. I'm going for Excel. My recommendation to you would be don't do that. Start at surge level at the 149. Get comfortable with the platform. Learn all the platform. Get in profit, and then step up to Excel. How often will you hear that type of talk at any other network marketing company? Doesn't happen. But the founders of INFINii wanted me to be sure to not sell people on platforms to get started in, but help them identify what platform is correct for them. So we already know if you're looking at Excel, you already understand a lot, and you're going to jump in and just turn on the rocket fuel with that. So training, it's one of the big things we do in addition here at INFINii, and with being open now in 70 countries, we're going to see a lot more of live trainings around the world, especially in our e-commerce masterclass that you're going to want to get started with and registered for as soon as you sign up. Our Saturday morning trainings on e-commerce are an important thing that you want to make sure to be tied into, but those masterclasses are critical. And the reason why I say they're critical is because this masterclass series helps you really become an expert at e-commerce, and we issue an internal certificate because we want to know the people that are serious about this, and then the ones that are good with working with people, we want to go ahead and help you, or I should say identify those of you who want to help others. And those of you that are identifying, guess what? You're going to be traveling the world with us to empower other people, teaching from stage on how to do this e-commerce stuff. I mean, we just registered and opened Colombia last week. When you begin to understand the type of sales that are going on, our members, just since our pre-launch here with the INFINii model, and that's really, I guess, for all intents and purposes, about 68 days ago, and don't hold me to the number, but I know it's pretty close. We're sitting around like $25 million in e-commerce sales just during the pre-launch of INFINii. Because remember, we did a 2-year test model with a pilot program, which is a subsidiary of INFINii called DS Domination. INFINii went into full launch here with a proven model just a few months ago, and we've already paid out over $2 million in commissions. So this is just blowing through the roof. Now, what you need to do at this point in time is just select what platform. Remember, you don't even have to be a partner with us. We're not asking you to share this business with others. You may only be interested in building an e-commerce business, and if so, that's awesome. You can simply select the, one of the platforms, a Prime, Surge, or Excel, and start, getting online, doing the e-commerce, doing the training, and build a substantial, 5, 6, even a 7-figure yearly income when you get into direct shipping items out of China and doing all the FBA stuff, which you'll understand when you get in the program. But, for those of you that are thinking, well, I probably know a lot of other friends that might be interested in this, to be involved in business with INFINii as a partner and to use the social environment of simply referring it to others, that's why we call this social marketing. All you have to do is go ahead and spend $9.95 a month, and you've got access to our entire rewards plan. So with that entire rewards plan, we build this on a dual team basis, just 2 teams. It's not something real complicated. Just think about when you used to play soccer. You used to say left team, right team, same process right here. So we apply a fast start bonus to begin with if you're a partner with us. And each time you introduce somebody else to the platform, no matter if they buy the Prime, the Surge, or Excel, we're going to give you 15% of the value of that product to you in a fast start bonus. Now, we also have a beginner bonus because we know the beginner bonus, when somebody starts with this, we want to make sure that people who are serious see some very rapid success. So the beginner bonus will automatically pay you up to $1,000 a month right out of the gate. We also have a dual team bonus. Those of you who are in the network marketing industry are going to recognize what a dual team bonus is. And of course, that dual team bonus usually pays you 10, maybe 15 or 20,000 a week maximum. Here at INFINii, we pay a full $50,000, up to $50,000 a week. That's up to $200,000 a month on the strength of the dual team model. Now, we also have an INFINii pay bonus. So we took that in dual team, which is one of the most successful compensation structures in the industry. And then we also took the unilevel, which, again, those of you that don't understand what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. We're just going through a real quick overview on the rewards plan, which, by the way, we have very detailed videos on. So if you feel confused, once you go inside, you're going to see videos that walk you through so you have a full understanding on this. But the unilevel model of this is different because we call it INFINii Pay, and we actually give 5% on each personal enrollment tree, on every person you personally enroll, on every person they do, like a family tree, and we pay that 5% to INFINii with rank caps applying. Now, when you look at the global bonus, which is number 5, you'll begin to notice that the global bonus revenues, we take a full 4% of the total business revenues of the company, and we push those into a global bonus that we then share amongst the mid-tier and upper-tier levels. Next, we bring in the elevation bonuses. We actually have up to $10 million in elevation bonuses for the field. And that a lot of people sit back and go, how is possible? It's possible because the founders pushed a full 70% of the global business volume into the field. This isn't another company where they're paying 36 cents or 40 cents on the dollar. This company is pushing an enormous amount of money into the field because e-commerce is going to take over very simply like a tidal wave. We also have something called a golden hammock. The golden hammock is much like, think of it's not the right connotation, but think of the negative connotation attached to the CEO that parachutes out on a golden parachute. Well, we all know what that means. Well, our CEO and founder, Hitesh Junja, wanted to create something that was just so good, and it was to push the loyalty factor and reward people that built with us. So we actually created the golden hammock, because think of it while you're laying out by the lagoon or looking over the ocean. This is talking about a true income that's a passive income that you keep being paid because of the work you already did. And when you go through the comp plan program on the videos, you're going to learn all about that as you continue to run through it. So my question to you is, are you ready? Are you ready to come be a part of our family? And if you are, then get back with the person who put you on this webinar tonight and tell them, you know what? I get it. I get that e-commerce has taken over. I get that Amazon and eBay and Alibaba and all the other online platforms is what I need to be focused on. Just show me what I have to do so I can learn how to do what those other people are doing. Select your platform. Remember, select the one that's right for you. You don't want to go jumping into the Excel level unless you're familiar with e-commerce. If you're not, the perfect level is the Surge level at 149, because it gives you all the benefits of Prime and Surge and all the different training that's there. You're going to fall in love with it. Then number 3, when you get in, take a look for qualifying for our pre-launch special. We have a pre-launch that we're allowing individuals that reach a specific rank in our compensation structure called director. If they do it within 90 days and they qualify to earn $20,000 in bonuses, that's a huge amount of money on top of all the other commission structures to be qualified to receive as you build your business. So make sure to get inside and check all that information out. And remember that, where were you 5 years ago? I mean, stop and think. I don't know what you're doing tonight. I don't know where in the world you are, but think where you were 5 years ago. If you're not in a different place today than you were 5 years ago, I would challenge you that you probably won't be in much of a different place 5 years from now if you don't radically do something different. We have tens of thousands of people being incredibly successful here at INFINii, and we are going to literally go across the globe like a tidal wave of e-commerce profits. And I invite you to be part of that with us. Come walk the beaches, share the success, and get to know the INFINii family. And our founders, along with myself, want to thank you for taking the time to visit with us tonight. Have a great evening or a great morning wherever you are in the world.